Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of Waifu Wars. I am the very not suspicious little boy that showed up into the fairy realm. Not suspicious at all. Drooby
And like Canute's enemies, my team is dead and gone, Sobroni.
And welcome back to the
So
Waifu
that's the
Wars
mood for
podcast.
this podcast.
Waifu Wars podcast, where we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, the weeb, but not your waifu because she is trashu. I know this problem was almost like it's a rhetorical question at this point, but how are you doing,
I
Abby?
am not very good. How are you doing, Drew?
I was a little not gonna lie, I was a little frightened when the Eagles weren't going to win and you started banning people on Discord,
When I
but
was having a mental breakdown on Discord, yeah.
yeah, I was just like, ugh, I'm like, please, you've got to learn how to make better choices when you're upset.
Listen, tell them not to at me, alright? That's on them. They knew what they were signing up for.
Because now I have people in my DMs being like, "Oh my god, Oni's being a tyrant.
Good.
Actually banned
This is
me."
the dictator Oni arc. Full
Mm.
authoritarian mode.
Well, I had a great Sunday because I literally came for Rihanna and Rihanna only. I think she did a fantastic job. To people who say otherwise, first of all, she was pregnant. Secondly, that's all all Rihanna does is literally do a lick of wine, shake her behind, and sing to her good music.
I
That's
liked
it.
her. I liked her bunny background dancers. That's about it.
Her background dancers did the thing. Oh, they did it. I had a great time yesterday. So yeah. Sorry here. Gonna do the things about the animes and the podcast, and as always, we're gonna start off with our new segment this week in anime. I'm just gonna go first. School Days crossover event launches in
I
Higurashi
knew you were gonna do that one.
smartphone game. Of course, I was because this was the crossover that anyone who is our age or around our age has been waiting
Yes.
for years.
When murdering worlds collide.
Basically. So the Higurashi smartphone game launched an event called Nanenme no Uwaki, which translates to cheating across countless years. Right. I was like,
Woo.
yeah, that
Oh god,
I
no!
was
Keep
like,
Makoto
very
away from the Higurashi girls, please.
so I was like, yeah, that was oh, I hope he doesn't. I actually hope he goes flying in their direction because I want to see once they realize he's a terrible person. I
They
wonder.
all just tag team murder him.
Right, it literally sends it to like 1,000 deaths. Um, so yeah, that was a very funny title. Uh, However, to anyone who plays this game, which apparently there's enough people because this game came out in 2020.
I don't know if there's an English version. I'm pretty sure it's just
I'm pretty sure
Japanese.
it's
Yeah.
Japanese too. Yeah. Um. So I don't know. Apparently, there might be more than one wave of the banners,
Mm.
but at least
Who cares?
according to the news
You only
network,
got to roll on the Kotonoha banner. That's the only one that matters.
that's why I'm saying it might be more because this first banner doesn't have Kotonoha.
What?
Nope, it's Sekai and Mion, but Mion in the school days uniform.
Ooh, that's kind of cute though.
Right. I mean, like I saw the picture of it. I'm like,
I would play that Higurashi game, but I feel like 90% of the characters are just the characters in different uniforms. Like, here's SSR Rika. Now here's Ultra Rare Rika in a Shrine Maiden outfit.
I mean, what else can they
And
do?
I don't know, adapt Umineko and have a billion more characters to work with.
Uh, But then it wouldn't be Higurashi anymore. Um, so yeah, why did they do the Umineko?
Yeah, like if anything, Umineko's way better suited for a gotcha game than
But I just think Higurashi is probably just more popular. That's
yeah,
why,
probably. Still, you can like link them, you know?
right? Um, so yeah, that's what's happening, and yeah, and they had the original artist Ryukishi
Mhm.
working on the artwork.
His
So yeah,
amazing art. Yep.
it's gonna look very looks nice. It looks nice to anyone who plays this game. Get your life, I guess. I'm just glad we finally had this moment
Yes.
in some way, some form.
I
The
will say
best
the
of both.
Higurashi collabs are they slap. This is why I wish, as much as people get on me for saying I wish that we FGO had real collabs, not just collabing with itself. It's for moments like these. Like imagine how stupid FGO collabs could get.
Ugh.
Because I think Higurashi also had a Clannad collab. So it's like,
It, yes, it did. It had Clannad collaboration as well as this Senna and Kagura.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Come on, imagine the FGO Senran Kagura collab. Come on, you know you want it.
I want my Final Fantasy X and FGO collab. Thank you so much. SSR racist Waka win. uh is that actually, and his story is really just like the reverse of Columbus's, where he starts out with the crazy faces, but then he starts looking more normal as the time goes on.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh right, racism is bad. The Albeds are good. But yeah. So that's my news. What you got for me, Ani?
My news is a little less fun. More delays. So there's bad news and there's good news. The good news is, well, actually, start with the bad news first. The bad news is both Bofuri and Misfit of Demon King Academy are going to be delayed next week because of COVID, of course. Um, so yeah, what was episode 7 of yeah, episode 7 of Bofure is going to be delayed by 2 weeks, and episode 7 and beyond for Misfit Demon Academy is indefinitely delayed. So that kind of sucks. But on the good side of the news, we are getting Nier back next week. After a couple of weeks of delay, I think 3 weeks. So we get Nier, but we lose Bofuri and Demon King Academy. Is it a fair trade? I don't know.
I mean, oh no, we lose Demon Misfit to Demon King. Oh
Wow.
no. Oh no. How will we ever
The,
survive?
the buddy daddy replacement is looking pretty good right now.
Right. Listen, even though I haven't watched since like episode like 3. But hey, that sounds like a good binging moment for me.
hmm
Uh, I really wish both of like, did it have to be 2 weeks?
Well, you wanted it more or
No,
less.
less, like,
I
or
know.
none at all, but
At least it's just two. You know, it's like all right. It's not great, but it could have been worse.
yeah, that's true. That is true. Um, we'll work out whatever the hell we're gonna
Yeah.
watch.
Behind the scene logistics.
Yes. All right, let's get started. Because now that you're done with our news, it's time for our weekly reviews, and we're gonna start off with Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 5. Yeah, Episode 5, which is my episode of the week.
And it was also my episode of the week because Canute.
Yeah, Canute. Oh, Canute said, "Girl, I'm different now." Hair flip, like,
He got his glow up.
yes, yes, sir, indeed. Um, but his ways are, he's. I love how he's kind of like turned into that typical anime side villain, who's like, I'm a side villain, so I'm like, instead of just brute strength, I kind of just like I'm thinking of stuff.
Hmm.
I'm a schemer. And yeah, he got some schemes all right. Uh, However, we see throughout the episode how some of those ways may not click with some people, aka Thorkel.
Yeah, Thorkel
Uh,
was not having it.
yeah, he's still kind of a little. He's a little cray cray, a little action hungry, a little bloodthirsty still. And that kind of doesn't work with Canute because Canute, in his way, is like, yeah, I don't really want to just rape and pillage like I used to. But it's cool that he has like the authority to impose his what he wants. He's like, no raping and pillaging. And then he sees other people who are about to do it. And then he tells his people, yeah, kill them.
Yeah, take care of them.
Which, we agreed that I was like, oh girl, that might be a little too much.
You give him a little bit of like a fair trial or something.
Right. Or stern warning.
Stern talking to. Did you know murder and pillaging is wrong?
But I like that. I like the fact that he's still doing it because I think he implies that like, hey, didn't I just say we shouldn't do this?
Hmm.
And then his secondhand guy or his attendant or whomever was like, "Oh, this is just the way we do things," and he said, "Well, I said no, so kill them all." Which is, yeah, people like them only understand violence, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, the reason why this is my episode week, the whole conversation with Eldrick. Woo. Oh man.
Yeah, Canute's really turning into like a Lelouch style
Yep.
king. I want to say villain, but he's not really a villain. He's just kind of like doing his thing.
Right. He's like trying to be a king, but he doesn't but he knows he can't be weak,
Hmm.
especially in front of all these soldiers because I was just gonna kill
Kill him.
him.
Yeah, like I was saying during live watch, it's super easy to kill somebody in those days.
Excuse me. I'll kill him if they see him being weak, but you can tell obviously from the beginning, it's like he doesn't want unnecessary like wanton violence and murder
Hmm.
either. Despite the fact that in order to achieve that, he had other people killed.
Yeah.
It's like I see what you want, and I understand that you have to kill to stop the killing.
Hmm.
And he understands this. He's not like someone with, I don't know, some MC from some character doesn't like killing, so I won't do it. No, he's like, I need to do what I gotta do to be king.
Yeah.
Um, just the way he just was swinging his big old PP in that conversation. The guy's like, "Oh, just take the money and leave." And his reaction was smart because I was kind of thinking that it was just like, wait, most people would just take the money and kill you all anyways.
Hmm.
Like it's kind of wild the idea that of, oh, just take my money and let us leave.
Hmm.
Because at that time that wasn't happening. Also, they're fighting over England, so if this territory is mine, why would you dismiss me? Which Canute also brings up in the conversation, which I was just like, you know what, he's not wrong. That's actually a pretty decent point. um Excuse me. And then he lights the fires, and I guess it was to kind of, as a warning to warning to Eldrick, being like, "Hey, so all my men are all around here, so help me, or we just burn everything down."
Yeah, it was like kind of a show of control. Like, I have this whole area pretty much under lock. So what are you gonna do? Fight me and try to reclaim this burned territory?
Right, which still wouldn't even work because, like, at that point, he already killed most of the people.
Yeah.
That's
I
why the
mean,
guy is
it
surrendering.
sucks for what was that place called? Mursa? Mursa?
Yeah.
They kind of just got the
Yeah,
bad end of
yeah.
the stick.
Yeah. Well, luckily, the land wasn't completely razed.
Mhm.
He got his money, and he killed himself a king. Or
Twice. He killed
2.
two cakes.
Or 2.
They both mysteriously died
He
due to
died of
some.
illness. Oh my gosh.
I do like that it's kind of doing the political, like Thorkill is clearly not happy. I have a feeling. Well, I don't think Thorkill would kill Canute, but I think he's gonna like launch some kind of rebellion against Canute or something, and that might be why Thorfinn comes back, because it's clear that Thorkill is just like, nah, I don't like this diplomatic, let's assassinate our enemies route. I want to go in just killing everybody and pillaging.
I know. I feel like if I was Canute, and of course Canute's probably not thinking about it too hard because Canute's too busy being literally a king.
Mhm.
But I'd be like, "Hey, Thorkel, go take here's some men. Go like kill some people over there."
It's like trying to because they're already planting the seeds that people are or his own subjects are not gonna like him because he's like changing their
Mhm.
customs of war and constant
Yep.
murder. So it just gives me like this video gamey feel where it's like you have to balance the politics with the culture and the da 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 da. Like, oh, you achieved a good diplomatic feat, but now your people hate you because you aren't killing enough people and starting
Yeah.
enough wars.
That's basically what it feels like it's gonna happen. Uh, but it's okay because Canute is really sexy now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd sign up for his army.
Oh yeah, what? Less murder and he's hot now? Like,
Canute's
yes.
biggest supporter.
Like, listen, teach me how to fight. Teach me how to fight. I will defend his castle or whatever. Did they have castles? They have
They have
castles back
castles.
then,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Okay. Also, it was really weird seeing Edmund, the son of Ethelred, get crowned by
Yeah.
like, a religious figure wearing like, the Christian robes that I'm still used to seeing like in real life today.
Mhm.
I wonder if that's historically accurate.
I think it is.
Right. I don't know why they would just like randomly just put them in very nice
Christian
Christian gowns
clothing.
if that wasn't that wasn't the case.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was really cool. Yeah. So yeah, that very, very good episode, very tense, just seeing Canute being that bitch. And yeah, I can't wait for next episode.
Yep. Hopefully he gets to be more of that bitch next episode.
Hmm. All right. Up next, we have Nagatoro season 2, episode 7,
Yes, the senpai training arc.
the Senpai contact arc.
Fuck contacts. I feel so called out by this episode.
Why?
I hate contacts.
I mean, I don't like them either, but I don't feel called out. Well, ugh. Why do you feel so
No
attacked?
worry. Nagatoro's gonna get to you. She'll get to you. She's gonna hit you where it hurts.
Never.
She's gonna.
That
One of these episodes is gonna cover one of your insecurities.
Listen, no one drags me for my insecurities more than me. So whatever Nagatoro has to say about me, I already thought of it myself at least 3
This was
times.
like a 40. I felt like I was in the episode. It was like VR Nagatoro. She was bullying me.
Aw, not that
I've never felt closer to Senpai.
that's so sad. Not an imaginary 14-year-old character making you feel bad about your glasses. Your glasses are perfectly fine.
Thank you.
Yes, Senpai just got contacts because I don't know. I guess he wanted his crappy hairstyle to stick out more.
Yeah, God, please change your hair, please.
I'm still gagged that the mom has the exact same hairstyle. I'm just like, wow. In my mind, I was like, how does it get worse? And they said, make him a woman. I said, wow, this is worse. Thanks. Um. Also, that whole time they were dealing with the contacts, it was like it felt like that whole first part was like a here's what not to do section when it comes to contacts.
Mhm.
Everything that they did, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't have anyone else
Getting
put your
someone to
con.
put contacts in your eyes. Don't let said person not wash their hands and put it in your eyes. Like, ugh. I'm just like, yo, Senpai's gonna get an eye infection.
So next episode, you're gonna have pink eye.
Right, and has no one to blame but himself. I will say he does look good. He does look good with that without the glasses, which is weird. That's something you wouldn't hear me say often.
Mhm.
But he does look better. And unfortunately it highlights his crappy hairstyle, but the face looks better. It's aight. So then they go skiing where out of nowhere Senpai is like, I have friends. And I'm like, what? It's like generic friend A, generic friend B. Um, honestly, I feel like they didn't matter. I was like, why are they here?
Yeah,
They're
it was just kind of like they never showed them before, did they? It was like the first
never.
time. Yeah,
First time. I'm just like, who are these people? And then after the episode, I was like, I still don't know who those people are.
nor do I care. They
Nor
look.
do I
They his
care.
one friend looked super sinister though.
Right. They're like,
I thought I'm like,
like
are
with
they?
the one tooth too.
Yeah, I was like, are they his friends or are they other bullies that he has? That just like bully
Right.
the shit out of him when Nagatoro's not around.
Yeah. And I wish he had a friend. Like that's not Nagatoro or the other or Nagatoro's friends.
Mm.
Um, just like that one guy character because they just makes a bunch of interesting characters in general, and I get it's not even a harem. It's not even a harem. It feels like a harem ensemble, but it's not a harem, which is weird. So I'm just like, give me the one dude character. Just for senpai, just senpai can go to someone and not feel like he's about to get attacked for
Hmm.
literally existing. Uh, he can't ski for shit. He's really bad at skiing.
Well, to be
Er,
fair, I mean, skiing is difficult, man.
Yeah, apparently it's easier than snowboarding. Even though I still feel like I want to snowboard. I don't know. I played so much SSX Tricky in my life. If I had picked the two, I would definitely want to snowboard, even though I can understand how one is easier than the other.
Yeah, I can see
Uh,
how snowboarding be more challenging.
would you do snowboarding over skiing?
Um, hmm, hmm, snowboarding over skiing. Yeah, I would rather snowboard than ski.
That's interesting, considering your deathly fear of ice skates.
Yeah, but snowboards don't have like blades on them.
Yeah, but they're giant blunt
Ah,
objects
but they're
that
blunt.
you get.
Blunt's not as bad as sharp.
I mean, tell that to people who get hit by cars, I guess.
Well, I would tell them, I'm like, wow, imagine how much worse it'd be if the car had like a fucking katana sticking out the front of
I I I I guess that's the gag about sharp things. That's the catch only about sharp things. There's more blunt things in the world, less sharp things, because we don't want I don't know bladed like
Bladed
trucks,
vehicles.
right? This isn't The Walking Dead or Mad Max.
Yeah. I want a Mad Max style world where we just have bleeded cars.
Oh, no, thank you. Um, and then towards the night, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna go anymore." And of course, Nagatoro's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess not." But it was cool that she wasn't being a dick about it,
Yeah,
though.
I feel like that's character growth work. I was totally expecting her to be pushy and be like an asshole about it.
Right? She's just like, "Oh, okay, bye." And then of course her friends are like, "Hey, I think she wants you to come." Like everyone's like, "Hey, I think she wants you to come." Even though the gag well, he didn't tell that she was well, he did not tell her that he
Mhm.
was coming. So I guess it makes sense that she couldn't find him at first. But surely enough, at the right moment, came in and swooped him up.
Yep.
Um, and that's after Senpai saved someone else, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, so I don't know. I liked her at the end where she just had like such a like quiet pride about like, oh yeah, I was teaching Senpai and we learned how to do stuff. Yeah. So that was cool. I like that. uh of course, towards the end, he still face plants.
Yeah.
It was a very cute, cartoony segment. And then at the end, I could I even call it a segment? Basically just congratulates his senpai, I forgot her name, on getting to art school, and then he's like, "I wanna get into art school," and then she's like, did someone else influence you to do this?" And he's like, I don't know, maybe." I think that was the end of it? I don't remember anything
Yeah.
else.
So it just kind of hints that Nagatoro's rubbing off on him a bit.
Yeah. Um, Even though I'm just like, "How did Nagatoro convince you to go to art school? I thought you liked art."
Although I will say that's I don't know if that's the best business decision.
It's not, but, you gotta find your
Follow your
passion. You gotta do what makes you
passions. I mean,
happy.
you can still just learn art at like a business school. Like you could go to a business school and then also just learn art on the side.
That's true, yeah, go to art club, art club
Yeah,
and
just
business school.
they do have art societies and clubs and training programs that you don't have to you know, dedicate your entire career to, you know.
Hey, 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 listen, you can
Sorry if
work
I
hard for
sound
that.
judgy.
Right, I'm like, "Okay, someone's dad." Like,
Well, that's it.
you
I'm so close to Senpai now. I feel like I have to like treat him like he's my son.
Um, well, maybe try putting contacts first,
No,
and then maybe you can claim ownership.
fair enough.
But yeah, this is a very, very cute episode. I enjoyed it.
Same.
Up next, we have Bofuri season 2, episode 5.
This was also gonna also be my like close to being my episode of the week if Vinland Saga wasn't so good.
Um, I get it. Uh, I think this episode starts with everyone being told, yeah, basically, here's an event where you can have pets. Everyone can get pets now. It won't just be Maple and um oh shit, what's her
Sally.
name again? Sally. And everyone's like, yeah, we're gonna go get pets. And it was cool because um, focused a lot on the two sisters as well as Kasumi.
Mhm.
I will I will say my only thing is maybe instead of what would have been cool? Instead of
What?
them just seeing a montage of them just fighting the things and dying, and then fighting the things and dying, and then fighting the things and dying, it would have been really cool if they all teamed up to do their, like, respected missions. So it could really be truly, like, a focus of, like, these 3 characters,
So
and I
like
guess
they all like team up and help each other.
yeah, like, they're a part of a guild, like, literally, if you guys keep dying separately,
See, this is
just,
the just see how you play guild things and I play guild things. I'm like, no, I totally just keep crashing my head until I beat it.
like, that's so that feels pointless. I mean, I guess they won, so I guess not.
And
But yeah,
they did give her an item that makes them faster or whatever. So I guess it's kind of like working together.
yeah, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that would've been cool just to see that team up on just, like, characters that normally don't interact with each other too much.
Hmm.
So yeah, I feel like they kinda, they kinda let something potentially real cool slip away. Cause after a while, I was just like, "Okay, we get it. Thank you for showing me the ways that you feel like killing this monster." That's like, sometimes I'm fine when they do, like, these very short, like, "Haha, we hit them once or twice and then they die" fights, and other times I'm just like, "Uh, okay, I guess." Um, like the parts that had action or had animation were good. The animation looked nice. Can't complain about that. It's just like I would have just preferred like 1 or 2 big battles as opposed to montages of them fighting, them dying, them fighting, them dying, them fighting, them dying.
But Drew, you got your big battle with Maple versus Octopus.
No, that was just comedy. Which I
The epic
enjoy.
battle.
AKA, that was a funny part of the episode. And honestly, that's what saved the episode for me. 'Cause it was just, it would be like, oh god, I wonder what the gradient set me down. Oh god, it's grabbing me again. It just does that for like 3/4 of the episode. It just drags her lower and lower into the seafloor.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was
She
funny. And then it just eats her.
yes. And then she returns the favor.
Yes, doing what she does best. When all else fails, eat it, which
Maple
she did.
she single-handedly overcame the one weakness of all high school anime girls, the tentacle monster, the tentacle octopus.
Yeah, she said, if I can't beat the tentacle octopus, I will become the tentacle octopus."
Yes, become what they fear. I
And
do love
yeah,
the little subplot of her just becoming more and more of a cosmic, like eldritch horror monster as the story progresses.
right. And then she's like, "Okay, I'm done. Hey guys, welcome back." And you see a bunch of tentacles and her miscolored eyes, and
Hmm.
I was yeah, that for the first time I was like, I was actually kind of like, "Ill, that's gross."
Yeah.
Um,
It's
a
worse
little,
that it's only like half her body gets the tentacles too. It's like super
yeah.
unnatural.
Yeah. It was funny, however. I don't know if it was this episode or last episode. I think it was this episode where I don't know, they were chasing after something and they drank a potion. Or no, they put on something to get rabbit ears, and then she used not devour, um was it monstrosity or something with the D? Basically the one where she turns into a giant demon monster.
Yeah, atrocity.
Atrocity, there we go.
Mm.
And yeah, that was hilarious because it just showed her with the ears on. Oh, I love those little touches, with Atrocity specifically.
Hmm.
That's like one of my that's like one of my favorite I think that's one of my favorite skills of hers because because just the way she acts, or she just has bunny ears with the monster
Her
form, stuff
horrible
like that.
monster face. Yeah.
I know, and then of course she sounds like Maple-ish kind of, so it just makes it even funnier. Uh, I like it. I like it.
You're, as usual, just a fun, silly episode. Even at the end where Sally comes in and she's like so desensitized. She's like, "Oh,
Right.
Maple, nice tentacles," and they're like, "Wait a second."
Uh, yeah, and Kasumi's snake is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really cute snake. And the bears. That the color coded bears are also adorable.
Yeah.
I love how like the dude, just because he's not a cute girl in this anime, they're just like, girl, you'll get he's probably gonna get his off in the background as someone who just show up like, oh yeah, I got my pet.
Yeah, he's not gonna give him a whole arc or anything like that.
Nope. Not even an episode. Poor him. Poor whoever that guy's name is. I honestly forget his
Yeah,
name.
who cares?
All right, let's move on to uh wait, hold on. Pull up on the Misfit of Demon King Academy, season 2, episode 6.
Yerp. Anosh.
Anosh. I love I so after horribly like cursing some dude who's helping them. I don't know why he couldn't just gotten hurt like a normal wound. Like, he beat me up. Like, no, you have to curse me, and I have to suffer for this to be real. And Anos is like, no, okay.
If you say so.
So yeah, after cursing that guy horribly for no reason, they time travel 2,000 years ago, and they run into the which one calls it queen, the fairy queen,
Mm-hmm.
spirit queen, fairy spirit queen. And there, I don't know, the reaction between her, specifically with Zeshia, is like really cute.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not a big fan of Sashia, but they are cute.
really?
Yeah.
Why? Can I ask why? I feel like that's
That's kind of boring.
she's just tall and a nice design and does cute things, and she's like just a well behaved
Oh no, I'm talking about the
girl.
guy, not her.
Zeshia's the little that's her name, Zeshia.
Oh no, all right, I'm confusing her with the spirit Kate, the main spirit woman and her boyfriend.
You mean the Spirit Queen?
The spirit queen and her boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah, I do not know their names.
Exactly. Sorry, of the 150 new characters we got introduced to, it's hard.
Yeah, yeah, Zeshia, the lolly.
Yeah, no, of
Yes,
course.
yes, she was
The
being
lowly I
cute.
like.
Yes. Okay, great. I was really confused. I was like, what and what
What
era,
universe?
what time period? What? Yeah,
Yeah,
what
I've actually
reality?
seeing my team lose has completely destroyed my sense of self. I don't know.
uh. So yeah, they follow the queen back into the fairy spirit realm and proceed to have the worst cover I've ever heard in my life. It's just like, oh yes, we're just a bunch of merry travelers
My
who,
traveling band of entertainers.
right, which that would have been fine until like whenever they start fighting, it's like, oh yes, you demon person, come get this powerful use this powerful demonic sword that I just happen to have. Like there's a quote where they're just like, "Oh, we only need this sword that only the Demon King would have, only that one person would have," and then Amos is like, "No, two people have this sword."
Actually.
I'm like, "Wow." So this is your definition of covert. Okay, like it was, like, ridiculous. It was, like,
Actually, he made a copy of the story when I bought it at a flea
mm,
market.
how did they not get exposed? I'll never know. Um, I know they had some dialogue kind of talking about this Fairy Queen stuff, which, by the way, also totally not sus at all. Like, clearly they can tell you're hiding something.
Mhm,
Uh, we did learn that the fairy, she isn't the fairy queen. She's I forgot what they called her. Fairy something pip,
mhm.
something love, a love kind of fairy, love pip fairy. Which I don't know how this has to do with love, but like if she figures out who she is, she'll just disappear. I'm like,
Well,
what
that
kind of
sucks.
design is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's who I am.
It just fades, like Thanos snapping out of
Right,
existence.
exactly. Like that was hilarious. Other than that, I don't remember anything else about this episode. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, it was a very, I don't want to say, it wasn't bad per se. It was just like, compared to what we've gotten so far, where like a lot of shit's been happening, this was very much nothing really happened the
Yeah,
episode.
this is like they married. I said married. They met
Yeah, they just had to meet up the with the
the Spirit Queen
yeah.
and her demon boyfriend
Hmm.
bodyguard. It's really giving the bodyguard the movie. Like he definitely giving Kevin Costner. Excuse me. By the way, have you ever watched The Bodyguard?
No.
I don't think I've seen the whole movie from start to finish.
Mhm.
Maybe I have, or maybe I've seen like clips of it. Yo, Whitney Houston was wild in that movie. She was just cussing up a storm, being being real standoffish. It was that movie was a wild experience. It's actually pretty decent. I was like, it was actually pretty good. I can't even be mad at it. It was worth the Grammy she won. All right. Next we have Kyokou Suiri season 2 episode 6.
I believe so. Yes, episode 6. Holy
I
exposition, Batman.
Can we talk about how ridiculous it was? The mayor is like running
Yeah,
after
that was
her, having this
wild.
whole conversation. I was like, why aren't they just letting her like this conversation would win anyone.
Hmm.
This would win anyone
I
because
can't
you're
jog, let
talking and
alone
running.
jog and like run and have a whole ass
Run and
exposition.
talking, no one can really do. That's not
Yeah.
a thing. That's not a thing.
But don't you remember about 2 years ago when the tourists were coming and then
Right, like, what? I'm glad we both can recognize that scene was, like, ridiculous.
yeah, I was like, all right, I know you got to get the exposition out, but like, come on.
Yeah, you could've just, like, had him stop and then talk and then cut to her getting back home.
Hmm.
However, of course, the show just has a way of introducing characters that you just tend to like immediately.
True.
Love me some Tay. She's just very like, she's just a very stern grandma, but she's not crotchety
Mhm.
and just outright mean. Like her character, for at least for me, she was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I like her a lot, and I also really love the cat. Cat's great.
Yeah, and the cat is also great. Um, and it's cool how they kind of lay the foundation of everything to a point where we can see that she's clearly like a figurehead in this town.
She's like literally the town elder.
Exactly, because why else would the mayor had to do like a 10-minute run while like negotiating, like talking about what's happening?
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, they kind of do a rundown of what happened with the village. And I will say this is the first time where I'm like actually happy that whatever's happening is like supernatural. You know,
Mhm.
I feel like the last couple episodes, like it had a bunch of supernatural elements, but the problem itself wasn't supernatural. Like the murder was done by a person.
Mhm.
Uh, the other house wasn't essentially haunted. Just being, I don't know, people just love to, you know, take their lives in that apartment for whatever reason.
The suicide apartment.
Right. Um. Yeah. Nope. But this very much has a supernatural element where the problem is indeed supernatural. Uh. The whole thing with Xanta and his grandson, which was so sad, but it ties into how and why all this is happening because I guess Torch just came here and were terrible.
Fucking asshole tourists. You know how they
Right.
like speed and murder people.
I'm like, are our terrorists, excuse me, our
Well, they
tourists,
were terrorists.
are our tourists that bad? The ones that come to New York City, I don't think they're
No, the
bad.
worst they do is just walk really slowly and take up all the space on the sidewalk.
Right. Just them not knowing where to go, what to do is annoying. But I don't think they're just going out causing traffic jams and littering.
Hmm.
No, I think that's all us,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's purely us.
That's just us. But yeah, the traffic from all the tourism and the fish, it led to Xanta's grandson's untimely death. Which, there's ever reason to curse your village, it would be the death of your grandchild.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, grandparents, as I'm learning with my mom, they love their grandchildren more than anything. Um, no, excuse me. Unless I will say unless unless you have just a lot of grandchildren.
Like they like, oh, I have another grandchild. It's all right.
Like I'm just saying, it's like for example, my grandparents, they have like I am one of many, many, many grandchildren.
Mhm.
Like we're talking about one of double digits easily, somewhere between 10 and 20. But yeah, so that's what led to the creation of Pinocchio or
Which, by the way, that's so like, oh, are you working on your demon death doll again? Oh, that what was the guy's name? The elder who died. Like, oh, that silly guy, always working on his vengeful curse doll.
right. Oh, just working on his curse doll, and then the mayor's like, "Hey, we could just blame it on him being on the doll being cursed. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just tell everyone that everything's cursed. Like, why? What would be the point of that, Mr. Mayor? Mm-mm-mm. Um. Meanwhile, Mr. Mokujin was running amok. Do you know who that is, Mokujin from
No.
Tekken? From Tekken, it's the wooden puppet character.
Oh, that thing.
Yes, that's immediately
Yeah.
what I thought of. When I saw him, I was just like, "Oh, cool. It's Mokujin, but with electricity."
He's buffed. He's been buffed.
Right. Um, and yeah, he seems, pretty strong. The curse seems to be cursing because 2 spirits tried to take it down, and it just said, "Zap, zap."
Hmm.
And then just went to this ocean, just electrocuted the fish. By the way, I'm just like maybe I don't know anything about, like, fishing and stuff. I'm just like, What's the problem?
Yeah,
The
okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that 'cause I didn't want to sound ignorant. What the hell does it matter? You're gonna
under
kill the fish anyway.
right, like, these fish, you're not giving them as pets, you're going to eat them, so,
Yeah, like, okay.
like,
If anything, this helps you there. Like, oh wow, I came every day when we wake up. There's just tons of fish here for us to sell to markets.
eat dead fish in the ocean.
Also, how can no one tell how they died if they're being electrocuted? I feel like that's fairly evident. Like, you don't need a college
Like,
study to be
wouldn't
like, oh,
I'm
these
like,
fish are electrocuted. That's weird.
I don't know, maybe the electricity isn't, like,
Real.
enough? It's not
It
real.
looked like enough for the
Well,
spirits.
okay, and it's not enough to, leave electric burns?
Mhm.
Question mark? That's the only reason why. Um,
I'm sure Kotoko will explain it.
let's see. Let's see. Fish carcasses sinking to the deepest parts of the ocean carry toxic mercury pollution that ends up contaminating bottom dwelling sea creatures. Okay, but these like didn't sink. They like rose up.
Rise up.
Um, Nothing said as the fish dies, there's no more DO being ingested, and the air in the bladder starts to dissipate, causing this after a few days. The internal organs of the dead fish decompose, and a gas is formed. Um, so I guess, maybe when the dead fish start coming up,
Mhm.
uh, hmm, I guess they already like sank down to the ocean, decomposed, and just floated up, which makes them not healthy to ingest.
Interesting.
Like, I feel like that could be the reason. I wish they told us that reason because
Mhm.
this is a
Like, watch
smart
that be the
enough.
next episode. Kotoko was like, actually, did you know after the fish float to the bottom and come back up, their internal organs have melted, and so they're no longer healthy to digest?
Right. So I'm just like, I don't, I don't understand. Blah blah blah. I'm actually interested. I really don't care about marine biology like at all in any sense of the word, but
Mhm.
now I'm just like, it's something I can research like a loser. Hmm.
Education. Educational.
It will float for a time until the gases in the body escape, at which point it will begin to sink. However, decomposition processes with the body will release additional gases. The whale might return to the surface until those gases escape. Um, okay, so yeah, it sounds like what I said might be it. They float to the bottom, and then when their bodies decompose and gas is released, they float to the top. And at that point, it may not be healthy for them to eat.
Interesting.
There you go. Nothing a cute little Google search can't fix.
True.
All right. So that was a
Look at
fun
us getting
detour.
educated.
Right. Anything else to add? Oh, right. Kodoko, of course, was called. And as always, that first initial meeting is it's always a fun, exchange of words. The Tai her face when she realizes that their goddess is just a small human girl who's a college student. And then she feels bad because she's like, "Oh no, I told them to give me a gift because I thought they were like old."
Mhm.
That was pretty funny. So yeah, it was a very fun interaction. Can't wait to see them uh expand on that in the next episode. Okay, let's move on to the last anime of the night, Tunrize episode 6. Um Also in the first frame I see Fiend and Lise walk together. I didn't realize how tiny Fiend was. Holy hell. Like, did you notice
Yeah,
that?
she's really short.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that even Lise just towers over her. I was like, that's wild. Mm-mm-mm. Um, so first half of the episode starts with Ball being, kind of pussy because he's like, "Oh no, I can't approach her." But then we realize that's because Ball doesn't want to seem like a gold digger, essentially,
hmm
and cause a scandal. Now that Fine has been reinstated into the family. Uh, but eventually, Lise pulls one of those plots. She decides to be a little schemer and gets Ball basically to confess his feelings about Fiend, with Fiend listening in the closet. I would say Q stuck in the closet, but R. Kelly, um, and yeah, and then they kind of had their little conversation, which is once again so good with the romance. Have a very lovey-dovey moment between the two. And honestly, after that whole exchange, Ball, he could get it.
He's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
all
how
the
he's like
characters in the show.
very. That is true. I love how forward he was, and then after the whole, you know, him professing his love, he like gets really embarrassed, and they get embarrassed, and they're like, "Oh my god, why are you blushing now?"
hmm
I was just like, "Oh, that's cute." I'm like, Ball can get it. He's a good guy. Unfortunately, we are out of the frying pan and into the fire. I don't know how that phrase goes.
Yeah, you got it.
Excuse me. Um, what's her face? Lise starts getting corrupted by the witch. Oh wait, before we get there, important thing that happens. Fine can now hear the voices
hmm
of Endo and Kobayashi. So that's pretty important. But yeah, as I was saying, Lise, she is now being corrupted by the witch of yore. Which so I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like this is a little bit of lazy writing on the
I
author
I
part.
agree with that because I feel like it's not that it's coming out of nowhere, but it feels like unnecessary
Right. It
for
feels like we're just putting this plot point in just to have it. Just
yeah, like
because we need to have a struggle. We need to have
hmm
a real big bad struggle. So we're just going to lump it in there. And I'm just like, I'm not even saying you can't have it, but
hmm
clearly in the game, it was triggered by stress because the prince was falling in love with another woman
hmm
while actively hating his fiance. That makes sense that she would cave into the Witch of Yore's influence. This case, it's like, oh my god, my fiance loves me, and the girl who was my rival ends up being like my cousin slash sister
hmm
who's dating another man.
yeah, it's like
But
so why are you insecure about the
right, exactly. So like, what insecurities does the Witch of Yore have to prey upon? Like now, it just seems like forceful plot device A.
hmm
It would have been another thing if, like, I don't know, they like, let's drug her and then the drug strengthens the influence. Or let's use magic on her so that she sees something and reads the message wrong. Something like that. Like that would make more sense.
Yeah. When they did the whole thing where like Kobayashi and them were like, "Oh, well, we can't see what's happening because we don't have vision on her because we only can see what the print is seeing or whatever." I thought that was going to be the time where something happens and they're not aware of it, but they didn't really do anything with that plot point.
Right. They're just like, "Oh my god, y'all, it's a witch of yore. Um help her."
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, that to me that plot point feels a little flat, which which makes me sad because I feel like as the series goes on, they're gonna harp on that more and more and more. And I feel like she's low key gonna turn into Witcher Yor, and then they're gonna turn her back with the power of love instead of killing her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, I guess, like I don't know. Can't you just make up a bad guy, or make it more about politics? I don't know. I feel like there's more interesting things to do than just forcibly turn her into the Witch of Yor.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Um, but yeah, because like the whole turnaround where she starts ignoring them and it's like, no, don't touch me, don't touch me, sister. Even though you guys are clearly just super concerned about me and only want what's best for me,
Don't touch
get away.
me.
Right. So that was meh. But other than that, the rest of the episode is pretty good. So yeah. Looking forward to next week. Hopefully, they will keep this witch your business to a minimum or reintroduce it in a better way. The
Yeah.
very least.
How many episodes is the season? Is it only 12 or 13? Let me see.
Yeah, probably.
It's only 12, so they probably have to do something soon.
Yeah. But I think that's all I have to say about it. What about you, honey?
That is all I have to say as well.
All right, then I think we are done with the weekly reviews and we are done with the podcast as well. So, Oni, if you'd be a dear and take us away.
Guys, if you enjoyed this episode of the Waifu Wars podcast, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you can catch us every week as we put up the videos. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party on our Discord, all linked in the description down below. You can even become a channel patron or member, like all these people, and join us for the live watches. We're actually watching Nagatoro and the Vinland Saga, which haven't been delayed yet for COVID, so we're still keeping on those. And then, yay! And you also get the right to vote into our polls for every season, which will be coming around soon because we are creeping towards the loaded as fuck spring season. So if you want a chance to vote in that poll and decide what anime we're going to watch for spring, you know what to do. Until then, Drew, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, because it's gonna come out. It's gonna be up by Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. Um, and if you want Valentine's Day and you don't have one, bitch, it's not gonna be me.
Happy
I'm just kidding.
Singles Remembrance Day, guys.
Oh my god. Don't, please don't do that.
Until next time, this has been Sabroni, and
Juvie
I'll
doo.
catch y'all later. Later.
Bye.